I'm Billy Besson and I'm sailing on the Nacra 17. It's a new class, Olympic class, multi-hull. It's a mixed boat, so we have one guy and one woman on the boat. You have the foils. Come with me, look the foils. The foils, it's a dagger board. It's a center board, but it's very curved. When the boat's coming with a big speed, he leaves the boat and the boat going very quickly with that. We have two double trapeze and we get out the boat and we stay like that out of the boat. We have the main sail. This is a big sail. This is the motor, a big motor of the boat. And we have a small motor, it's a jib. And we have the spinnaker inside this cover. And when we deploy the spinnaker, the boat is the same sensation of the cars with the super boost. So the boat going very fast with that. The boat going is sometimes at 27, 28 knots. It's very nice, good. It's good boat for that.
Kind of fitting, Mitch, that Billy Besson would be the man telling us all about the Nacra.
Yeah, he's been in multi-hulls a long time, and he was involved with another form of catamaran racing called the Little America's Cup, which is on a Sea Cat. And he developed some foils on that boat too. So he knows all about lifting foils, which of course we saw in the last America's Cup, where lifting the boats completely out of the water. And the Nacra is getting very, very close to that sort of performance. Occasionally the boat is completely airborne, apart from the foil just sitting in the water.
Spectacular stuff.
It is spectacular. It's pretty hairy because not a lot of control systems on these foils. So when the boat becomes airborne, it's a bit like trying to balance on a ball, and very, very tough.
You like this classification, Gary? You like this classification?
I do. I like the co-ed element. I'm glad to see the catamaran back in. And some of the design elements here really add to it, as Mitch pointed out. These boats will really fly. But today, it's going to be light wind, and like we've seen in the other races, tactics will make a big difference.
The French team has been so dominant through the qualification races. We've had 10 of them in the run-up to this medal final, and we can now review what's exactly happened there and where they all stand.
Billy Besson and Marie Rioux of France were one of the hot contenders coming into Santander. They'd already won the World Championships, got a bronze in the Euros and gold at the Olympic test event. With all the expectation to perform comes the pressure. If they were feeling the pressure, they didn't show it. They were first out of the blocks and nailed 2 wins on the opening day and didn't drop outside the podium until race 8. Italians Vittorio Bissaro and Silvio Sicuri are sitting in second, with Australia, Great Britain, Argentina and New Zealand all able to make the podium. The French then are sitting pretty at the top, 34 points ahead of the Italians. They've got the gold in the bag even before the start of the medal race. But the battle for silver and bronze is wide open in the Nacra 17.
Yeah, there'll be a real tussle-in for the silver and bronze medals. We'll see the classification in a moment. France assured of the gold medal with Billy Besson and Marie Rioux. But Italy, Australia, Great Britain, Argentina, New Zealand, well, there's not too many points separating them all. Could it even be that the old boy Santi Lang could get himself back onto the podium once again?
Yeah, I'd never write Santi off out, especially in a tactical race like this. He's a real strong player, but it's too hard to pick who's going to come out in top, and in this sort of condition it could be anyone's race.
Well, it's France, Italy and Australia who are in the medal positions coming into this final race of Santander 2014. We'll hear we'll hear now from the 3 crews.
So, world champion, does that mean you go out, the 2 of you, just to enjoy yourselves today?
Oh yes, we are very enjoyed. You know,
We win the World Championships just behind the medal race, so we are very happy to do that.
But is he very competitive? Will he be able to just enjoy his race today, or do you think Billy will want to win?
Yeah, we want to prove that we are the world champions. So yeah, maybe we want to win this medal race too.
The gold medal has been decided, but silver and bronze, there are so many boats that could win that. How are you going to hold on to your second position?
Actually, it's not a matter of calculation against other boats, but because there are a lot of boats that can compete for that, for the podium. So our goal is only to go on the water and try to do our best, be aggressive and be in front of everyone.
And you've watched some of the sailing so far today. How are the conditions? Do you think they might suit you?
Yeah, we're very comfortable with any kind of conditions. Right now we have flat water and we have a light breeze. It could increase a little bit. We are happy with, I repeat, any kind of conditions, so we're very relaxed.
The gold medal may have been decided, but this race is far from over, isn't it? Silver and bronze, and so many boats can win it.
Absolutely, it's all going to be looking from the previous races, a lot of snakes and ladders out there, so we're just going to have to go out there and just sail as best we can, and who knows what's going to happen, to be honest. It's pretty tricky.
But with so many crews up for a medal, are you going to be looking around? I mean, presumably there's going to be a certain amount of defensive manoeuvres.
Yeah, I think we're going to go out and sail our own race. We know what points everyone's on, so that's definitely going to play a role towards the end. But on a day like today, I don't think you can focus too much on that. The gusts are probably more important at this stage.
So close, isn't it? 55 points, the Italians in the silver medal position, the Australians 56 points, and then in fourth and fifth, Great Britain. Pippa Wilson, nice to see her back at a World Championship, 61 points, Argentina 61. You're going to need a calculator out here to work this one out, all the various twists and turns and ramifications of what might happen in this final medal race.
Well, based on what we've seen so far earlier today, the leads are changing all the time. You're going to have to work hard. The best thing you did, you heard it in the interview, we got to just sail our own race and the points will take care of themselves. That's the philosophy you have to take with so many boats so close going into this finale.
Pippa Wilson for Great Britain was a Beijing medalist, gold medalist in the British Yingling team, and they became known, that team, as the three blondes in a boat. I can remember there was a huge amount of publicity back home when they produced that gold medal winning performance. 2.5 minutes to go now to the start of this final race, the Nacra 17 medal race. Billy Besson and Marie Rieu, do you think they'll go for it? Or do you think it'll be just a question of just going, you know, everything's already done now?
No, I think knowing Billy, he's a fighter. He's out there just to play, to try and win every race he can. And, you know, he sends a message every time he goes on the course that he's a real fierce competitor. Been having a great season, and this is no different to any other race.
We'll go down now and hear from Shirley.
I agree with Mitch. He'll want to rub salt into the wounds and win this race. But I think this course is particularly tricky in boats like this because you can't tack a lot, you can't change your mind. You have to go with your gut feel. You know, tacks in these boats are very, very slow. So it's going to be tough, particularly up the top end of the course, you know, where we've seen it so puffy and so difficult to call. It's going to be hard.
Out there on the water, two Australian teams. I guess you must know those guys pretty well, Mitch.
I do. Darren Bundock, who's in 8th at the moment, double Olympic medalist, and we've been doing battle with Darren, it seems like, most of my life, but he's a bit of a wise old dog on the course, and this condition could suit him quite well too.
He's with Nina Curtis, now 43 years old, Darren, and the other Australian team, Jason Waterhouse and Lisa Darmamin, they're cousins.
With under a minute to go, there's 4 boats that are all stacked up here to windward of the committee boat and are going to have trouble getting in. The one thing in their advantage is we look at the screen, the current continues to flow from right to left.
Late adjustment from the boat closest to us. And there you see the graphic from overhead telling you exactly where the principal challengers are. Those are the medalists, France, Italy and Australia, as things stand at the moment, but things can still change.
The Italian boat bailing out, ITA 200. They're standing in second place right now, and there they are in the left part of the screen trying to go to the left side.
And somebody's taking a
left side.
Port tack start from the other end, Gary.
Yeah, that's going to be very difficult to pull off. But if they get a good part of speed, maybe they can pull it off. It'll be one of the greatest moves of this regatta.
It's one of the Australians, I think. I think it might be Bundock. The race now is going to start, and it is underway. Nacra 17, the final medal race of Santander. Is Billy Besson of France going to be dominant, along with Marie Rieu once more? They're already assured the gold medal. Who's going to take it, and who had the better start there?
Well, certainly Great Britain there on the right had a great start at the windward end, but I like the strategy of both Bundock and the Italian. They want to get to the right side of the course. They don't want to take time tacking, so they simply dip behind all the boats, a port tack start, and if the right wins, they're going to be in great shape. We'll see if it works.
British team, Lucy McGregor and Andrew Walsh. McGregor campaigned for London 2012 in women's match racing with her sister Kate.
And a nice gust of wind there as the windward hole lifts up. And Mitch, you always want to keep that windward hole out of the water if you can.
That's the idea. It reduces the drag. You can see there's a bit of breeze. They're double trapezing upwind, so probably 7-8 knots at least. And that right side's looking very strong at the moment, the bottom of the screen.
You know, the Italian, he was stacked up to windward of the line, and with about 40 seconds to go, he could see that he wanted to get right, but he couldn't get there. So he bailed out and made it work.
So the early leader, Darren Bundock and Nina Curtis for Australia. There you see them in picture.
Yeah, I think Darren spotted that right side favoured as well and started port. He's gone there a little bit above the Italians on the screen there, but in good pressure. The Italians look to me to be a little stronger. They're in stronger breeze. The further they go to that side of the course, the better the breeze.
Mitch, you talked about how much distance you lose tacking. There's the story right there.
Italy in the gold medal position, or in the lead in this medal race. France up there, and Australia with Darren Bundock as well in the lead three.
And just as we're talking, wind is filling in from the left side of the course, so Italy is not assured of the lead with this breeze filling in right off the city.
As you can see, the boats in the middle of the screen there, they're double trapeze, got a big puff. Looks like Santi Langer there who's accelerating. And with these boats, they do more than the wind speed. So if the breeze increases a knot, they'll go 1.5 knots quicker in this sort of breeze range. So big gains and losses depending on how much breeze you're in.
Matthias Müller and Natalie Brugger from Switzerland looking very strong in the right part of the screen. They're going fast, and they've got a wind that's not only strong, but it's shifted direction and taking them straight at the mark, and I think into the lead.
Bronze medalists last year, the Swiss pair. And they have sailed right the way through. This near side, is that still Darren Bundock up in contention?
Yeah, Darren's looks like he's dropped a little bit there, but it's going to be a scrap near the top mark. It gets shiftier and patchier, so still a lot of opportunities, even with 100 metres to go to the top mark.
Argentinian boat moving through into second place, and the British pair, McGregor and Walsh, up there in the lead four as well.
Well, with the boats so close, boy, it's going to be quite a tricky rounding, getting past that windward mark, and the two French boats are well back at this point in the race.
New Zealand with Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders, number 222. Gemma's father, pretty well-known sort of fella. Murray Jones, Gary.
Murray Jones from New Zealand, America's Cup veteran, has won the Cup several times as a main trimmer. Look at these boats coming into the windward mark. Remember, we have 6 legs to this, 3 times around, 3 laps in this race, and the Swiss in the lead. Argentina, Santiago Lang, not far behind.
Well, the Swiss leader there, Matti, is actually been coaching Santi in the Olympics a couple of Olympics ago in Beijing. So they know each other's game plan pretty well.
Hasn't competed thus far himself. Way back in 1997, Matthias was second in the Optimist World Championship.
Look at a collision there. Sorry there, John. We had a huge collision between Great Britain and France. and there's going to be a penalty. Somebody's going to have to do a penalty there with that collision. Excuse me.
Who's it to be, Mitch?
Well, we're going to have a look at it again on the replay, but it looked like there was someone trying to go through on port tack and just not enough room. And they really made a mess of it, screwed up about 4 boats that had to alter course to avoid that contact as well.
And I think maybe a little damage. The British boat there on the left is stopped dead, trying to get going again after that big collision.
Well, maybe we can see that again and try and work out exactly where the responsibility lay.
When something like that happens, it kind of makes you. Here's a good look, John.
Mitch, talk us through it.
Well, you can see one boat tries to go behind there, and there's just not enough room. And he blocks the French boat, 225, and he's just absolutely the meat in the sandwich.
Well, the French boat, Mitch, I think should have borne off and gone below. They were on port, they were the leeward boat, but they had no rights of way. They had to bear off. The British boat looked clean.
Yeah, I think it was just an unfortunate situation that, you know, the French boat got stuck in the middle. But certainly the French boat looked in the wrong there.
Well, there is how it stands at the moment, and the oldest competitor in the race, Santiago Lange with Cecilia Soroli, they've moved into the lead, and it's now the Argentinians who are in front, and they're still in with a chance of getting into the podium positions.
Great speed going downwind.
As you can see, they're double trapeze downwind, so you could expect speeds of around 18 knots in this only 10 knots maximum that we're seeing out there at the moment.
Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders putting the Swiss under pressure there. Swiss in second place, Matthias Buhler and Nathalie Brugger. Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders for New Zealand. And like this, it would be France, Australia and Argentina who would take gold, silver and bronze. Billy Besson and Marie Rieu. Australia with Jason Waterhouse and Lisa Demanin. And Argentina would move into the bronze medal position. Shirley, what can you tell us from down there on the course?
Well, they had to wait till the end of the day, but absolutely have the best conditions. We have maybe 10, 11 knots now. You can see them flying downwind, both on the trapeze. It looks fantastic. One thing, though, the gate is very, very small, so they've got to get the angle, the approach to the mark, spot on. Going through in second place, New Zealand. Swiss go through as well. And Switzerland may well have taken second place back behind the Argentinians.
Well, you see them split at this bottom gate, and it's really who's choosing the right side at the beginning of this second upwind leg.
No penalties imposed, by the way, from that multiple collision that we saw.
Well, there'll be a protest. When you have a collision, somebody's wrong, and there will be a protest that the international jury will sort out after the race.
Be interesting to see. What was your hunch, Mitch? Did you see anybody at fault? Because it certainly had a big impact on this race.
Well, I think the French boat was just caught in the middle. The British were trying to avoid the first starboard tacker, and they were trying to go behind them. And the French were just caught in the middle between the next starboard tacker, and probably they should have avoided that a little earlier to not be in a position they had nowhere to escape to.
We'll have another look at it at a moment as you watch Mona Varro and Manon Audinet go through for France. Here's the crash once more.
So the British boat is on port and has got to give way. They're dipping behind, but the French boat's sailing high, but the French is trying to cross the British, so they kind of lost track of each other. Anyway, the port back boats are burdened. The French, instead of going up, I think should have gone down and behind the other boats.
Yes, that's probably the way the umpires will see it too, I think.
Meanwhile, Argentina, with that lead here, have got themselves into a medal position. Santiago Lange, 52 years old, and Cecilia Soroli winning the race, and it will move them up as things stand into third place overall. There they are. Tell us a bit about Santi. You've known him for a long time.
Yeah, he's a brilliant sailor. He's been to the Olympics on 3 different classes, but he really shone brightly on the Tornado class, the catamaran in 2004 and 2008, and took bronze medals in both those Olympics. Great competitor, and he'll love this sort of tricky condition. It's right up his alley.
He's in the bronze medal position. Australia with Waterhouse and Darmanin there in the silver medal position, and France are heading for gold.
52 years old. Is that a disadvantage at all, or is that experience going to be helpful to him?
Oh, experience is key, particularly on a class like this, which is new. And a lot of the people out there haven't sailed multi-hull, so Santi's really calling on all that knowledge, experience that he's had from the Tornado class previously.
Well, I remember a guy named Paul Elstrom and his daughter Trini sailed in Olympic Games in a Tornado catamaran in 1988. I think Paul was 60 years old, and he did very respectably in that Games.
Yes, and I'd expect Santi to be one of the key players, come the next Olympics in Rio.
Looking at Mona Varro and Manon Odinet, second of the French boats. Mona, born in Paris, lived the first years of his life in Tahiti after his parents built a boat and sailed the family from Brest to Polynesia. How about that? There's Santi moving up towards the next mark.
A very comfortable lead as stretches out here. But boy, once again, for the second position coming into the mark, it is very close. These boats are at risk.
Darren Bundock for Australia in second place on the course.
Now look at these boats coming in from the right. Switzerland's got the right of way.
It looked like Australia tacked a little close to Switzerland there, so there may be a call for a protest.
It looked like a foul to me, just for the record. But we'll see. That's why there's a jury to hear this later.
The conversations will go on for a while, I think. Protests and counter-protests there'll be.
Oh, red flag, penalty.
So that was a little unforced error there. There was no need to tack that close, and they're having to do a turn.
Boy, pretty expensive in these boats making a penalty turn, 360 degrees, which you can see there just to the left of the mark.
So which boat was it there penalised?
It was Australia. I'm not sure which of the Australians it was when they tacked there, but they tacked too close to the Swiss, and umpire didn't like it, so they had to do a penalty turn.
Well, it did look like a clear-cut foul.
Yes, but it's interesting. They leave the spinnaker up when they do a tack penalty turn. And on most boats, that becomes very difficult, very slow. But on these boats, they've got so much speed, they can pull the full turn off without delay.
What a great shot of the boat going downwind. Full speed, sailing at, let's say, 17 knots. Both crew well aft in the boat.
Penalty was on Darren Bundock.
Yeah, it was a port starboard. Obviously, Darren was on port tack, and he just tacked too close to the Swiss.
He should have tacked earlier, maybe risk making a mark. So in that case, he's better off dipping and just being the next third boat around.
In case you wondered, in case you were slightly worried, that is done from some considerable distance from our overhead shots. He's not literally about 2 feet above the boat.
Well over 100 meters up in the air. Not affecting the boats at all.
Close up there of the Swiss Matthias Bühler and Nathalie Brugger. And that's Santiago Langer leading the way for Argentina and sailing his way into the bronze medal position.
Leading the way and stretching out.
He's a long way in front. Through the gate and onto the fifth leg.
Well, he has opened up a nice lead, and these boats are so fast downwind. If they get a couple more knots of breeze, that means possibly 2 knots or 3 knots faster boat speed.
Bühler and Brugger of Switzerland go through in second place.
Are these boats underpowered at all, or do they have enough sail area, Mitch?
Well, they are a little underpowered, under 6 knots, but as soon as you can get 2 on trapeze, that's perfect conditions for them. That's what we're seeing right now.
Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders, New Zealand, were through in third.
What do you think of the co-ed sailing, Mitch?
Well, sorry, just interrupting. That was a close-up there of the gold medalist. That was Billy Besson and Marie Rioux going through that gate, and they are not going to win this race, surely, but they're on the way to gold. It's already assured.
Yeah, they just have to keep the race clean. They don't need to to get any penalty, just go around the course, but still they'll be fighting to try and get up to the front end of the fleet. I noticed in that first crash that we saw that actually obstructed Billy, and he had to tack away to avoid a collision there. So that probably put him behind the 8 ball from the beginning of the race.
The medal placings as it stands, if it were to finish right now, it would be gold for France, silver for Australia, with Jason Waterhouse and Lisa Darmanin, and Santiago Lange and Cecilia Ceroli for Argentina are into the bronze medal position and winning this race.
Well, Mitch, if I could go back to my question, because I'm curious, since you've been around multi-hulls for a long time, what do you think of the requirement of co-ed sailing, male and female, on these boats?
Well, it adds a whole new dimension to the sport. You know, we don't really see any other sports, in fact, where, you know, male and female competing together. It's very interesting, though, to see the different combinations, whether it's a girl steering or the guy steering. It's a very physical job on the front. So interesting combinations, but very, very athletic boat. And it's great to see the girls on catamarans.
Would you want the taller sailor to be up forward in the middle of the boat on the wire?
Well, I think just the total crew weight is really the key, but it doesn't seem to matter whether the tall or heavier person's forward or aft.
Argentina, we're told, with the result of what is out there, have moved up into the silver medal position now. They've come right the way through from 5th up to silver, relegating Australia into the bronze medal position. Switzerland out on the course in 3rd place behind New Zealand, and Australia number 256 is Jason Waterhouse and Lisa Darmanin, and they need to improve that position if they're going to regain the silver medal.
Mitch, you mentioned they go faster than the speed of the wind. Can they go double the speed of the wind?
Not quite, but you know, ultimately probably their best performance with the Janica on, they could do 1.8 times the wind speed. So in 10 knots, they can do 18 knots downwind.
Pretty impressive.
It is impressive. It's only a 17-foot boat, and what's really impressive is that they're smaller than the previous Olympic class Tornado 20-footer, and these are actually faster around the course.
I'll tell you what's impressing me right now is how well these boats are tacking, going through the maneuvers, which catamarans traditionally haven't been good at.
Coming up around the final mark, and it is Argentina who continue to lead the way. Going to be close for second. The Swiss look as though they're going to go through in 2nd place.
Final leg toward the finish.
3rd, New Zealand.
Yeah, the Swiss made up a lot of ground there. Look at that.
And Australia look as though they've gone past New Zealand and regained 3rd place.
It looks like a big scramble for a jibe set there, which means the breeze is favoured on the bottom of the screen, turning back to that side of the course very, very quickly at the top mark.
Yeah, it won't last long. The reason they're jiving is not so much the wind direction, but there's just more of it. If they went straight, they get underneath the grandstands here, and it's lighter air. But once they've gone about 200 meters, you'll see them jiving back into the center.
This is going to depend, this is going to decide who's going to take the silver medal position. If Australia finish ahead of New Zealand, and they are absolutely neck and neck, they will regain the silver medal position ahead of Santiago Lange's Argentina boat. Argentina are on their way towards victory, but this is the battle here for minor placings, if you like, in this race. But this is going to determine who finishes in silver medal position between Billy Besson and Marie Rieu.
And there's the jibe. Australia should be jibing to cover, and they don't cover. Mistake? We'll find out soon.
Has he got it? Have they got it wrong? Has he got it wrong there, Mitch? You're the expert.
Well, you know, obviously when they come back together, Australia's going to have right away. But New Zealand, I'd guess that they've actually extended over the top, so they'll probably be disturbing the air for the Aussies.
Yeah, I thought the Kiwis had a little bit better maneuver there and accelerated it.
Argentina have been overtaken by Switzerland. Switzerland now back in front, and that is the race for the win here in this final medal race. Argentina are going to have to get through and somehow get ahead of the Swiss if they're going to get into that medal position once more. Finishing lines in sight. Switzerland have a slight advantage.
It's hard to believe that Switzerland passed Argentina had such a big lead there, but they split downwind, and that was the difference.
They'll know all the permutations. France, Australia, Argentina now as it stands. That's going to be the medals. As Switzerland come up towards the finishing line. One final manoeuvre. There it is. And across the line. And victory for Switzerland for Matthias Bühler and Nathalie Brugger.
That was one impressive come from behind to win that race.
Second place goes to Santiago Langa and Cecilia Ceroli for Argentina. And that's going to give them the bronze medal. And coming through in third place. Again, a final manoeuvre has to be made, and this is going to be close.
Well, this is going to be interesting. The Kiwis have really accelerated quick. If they can just get across, there's a starboard jibe coming in. Very, very close at the finish.
And United States coming in ahead, perhaps ahead of Australia. That might just change it all, Gary. Gary, it was tight, that one.
Yeah, not United States, by the way. It was New Zealand there.
I beg your pardon. Thought, yeah, not
you
United States.
You saw the Great Britain get in there. Woo! That was an exciting finish. We'll have to take another look at that to sort it all out.
Australia pipped on the line. Jason Waterhouse losing valuable positions down that final leg, and we now have to wait to see the final classifications to see how this all pans out. France, we know, have taken the gold, but behind them, well, this is the way it finished.
Look at that, NZL comes through there.
It's Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders, 2-2-2.
And then Australia, and I'm not clear whether Great Britain or Italy got it at the top of the bottom of the screen. That was close too.
Italy were in silver medal position before that race began. Have they slipped out of the medals altogether? It's subject to protests. And we're subject to protests, and there could be several of those. France would take the gold medal. Silver goes to Argentina. And Australia, as we suspected, losing ground and maybe lost it on the line to the New Zealanders, Gemma Jones and Jason Saunders. They go back into the bronze medal position. But the debates are going to go on for a long way from here, aren't they?
Well, yes, it's not only the protest hearing, but also just to calculate those points. It's going to take a little while to run through it.
Well, there's no question who the winner is.
Yeah, we'll be hearing from them shortly. As ever, straight into the water. Billy on his back, Billy Besson and Marie Rioux, and we'll hear from them shortly. What a terrific effort from Argentina, though, to come back and get into the medals. Led for a long way, ultimately beaten on that final leg by the Swiss. Matthias Bühler and Nathalie Brugger were 9th overall before this race began, so they didn't figure in the medal shake-up, but nevertheless a terrific performance from them. Enjoy that one, Mitch?
Yeah, that was a great race. I mean, plenty of action. There was lots of lead changes, and you know, you could see everyone was pushing hard right to the finish there. Good performance from Santi Langer. I thought this sort of condition would suit him, and good on him, the oldest guy in the fleet.
Well, maybe here shortly, but Shirley now is with the gold medalists, the French pair, Billy Besson and Marie Rioux.
They're a bit wet from all that swimming, but they look delighted. What a week you've had. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are so happy to win this World Championship. It's a second title for us, so amazing.
It's a new class for real. What do you think the secret to your success has been? Why are you dominating it?
Smile it. Just a smile and enjoy with the boat. And that's all.
Just talk to me a little bit about each other and that partnership, because I know you're a great team. Talk to me about each other. What does this mean to both of you?
I don't know. It's a good, I don't know, symbiosis. It's the word I don't know the word in English. We are I don't know.
But you know, it's been you've done many training, lots of crashes and capsizes, and it's hard work, isn't it, in the Nacra? It must mean a lot to be now the world champions again.
Yes, it's a lot work, a lot of work. And last winter we worked a lot, Mary and me, for that. And this is the result. So we are happy to work.
I have I think the best skipper of the world. I'm confident to sail with Billy, and it's really great to sail. We have a lot of fun to sail together.
You have the best crew.
Oh yeah, for sure, because Mary just learned the catamaran with me, and in 2 years, 2 titles. She's great for that.
Now 3 gold medals at these World Championships for France. It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
Yeah, we are very happy to are in this French team. Yeah, there is a good
spirit.
Good spirit, and we are happy to win this 3rd medal. The windsurfer do really great, and
we will do the best for us, because he do the level very high.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We want to prove that. So we are happy to win like that.
Well, I can tell you're a great partnership because you finish each other's sentences. Enjoy the celebrations. What a week you've had. The crowds are waiting for you. Enjoy it. 2014 Nacra World Champions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
See you in Rio.
And we'll all look forward to that. Billy Besson and Marie Rioux. Very impressive through the week. Well, there's been no protests as yet, but that could still change. We might get protests as a result of some controversial moments. That's the result of the race, and victory for Switzerland ahead of Argentina. And overall, what does it mean for the classifications? Well, it means, as we knew, gold for France, but silver for Argentina and bronze for Australia. Terrific race to finish with. From all of us here, hope you've enjoyed the action through the week. Santander have been wonderful hosts. It's been a terrific race to finish with. Let's enjoy the highlights once more. From Santander, it's good night to you.